I keep rejecting my husband's attempts at intimacy, and I fear it's wearing him down.
Well, yeah, girl, what's wrong?
Sorry for the excessive background, but I feel like it adds context. I, 30 female, have been with my husband, 32 male, for 4 years. We have a toddler, 2 female together, and have lived together just as long. By the way, this comes from user Anonymous Asker 8372. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give you a little bit of good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments. As OP says, overall, our relationship is in the middle. We're both stressed because we had no idea we were expecting until the day I went into labor. Yes, I had periods every month. No, I wasn't emotional over pickles or puking my guts out. Following birth, I had postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. We've been extremely tight on money, have family drama on both sides, and our own personal issues. I work the most and therefore pay around 70% of all bills because my husband's job only has so many hours available. So I'll work my tail off to make as many tips and work as many hours as possible just to ensure we have enough for rent. At the end of the month, after utilities, groceries, and other necessary expenses, we have maybe $100 to $200 left for fun or emergencies. And no, we don't use DoorDash or anything like that. Literally every penny is rationed because we're teetering towards the edge. On top of my work shifts, my commute is almost 2 hours one way because I take the bus and train. He picks me up from work 2 or so days, depending on what's going on and how he's feeling, which shortens the way home to about 20 minutes. So when I get home, I'm exhausted. I'm sorry, how is your partner not... he's picking you up 2 days out of the week, and then the other 3 days or 4 days, you have a 2-hour commute both ways? How does that even make sense? That's crazy.
Well, she probably takes, like, public transportation.
I know, but it's like, why are we not doing this every day? Why are we not cutting down the 2 hours to 20 minutes every day? In some cases, I get it, but like, just like, what? That should be the automatic. It should be like, oh no, something happened. I can't get you from work today. Right? I don't know. So when I get home, I'm exhausted. My back hurts, my feet hurt. I suffer from chronic migraines and GERD. I just recovered from a kidney infection in which an ambulance took me from work, and I'm on the brink of falling asleep just getting home. My husband takes care of our daughter when he gets home from work, which is around 7 hours before I get home. He's at the age where she's a handful on better days and a hurricane on the worst ones. I always make a point to take over childcare when I get home, help with dishes while he cooks, and we flip a coin on taking the dogs out. I also make a point to tell him to go out on our overlapping days off because I know he's exhausted too, so he can have some time to himself. But he almost never takes me up on it, saying he'd rather be with us. Aw. Ever since having our daughter, our spicy sleep life has tanked. We have spicy sleep about once a week, sometimes up to 3 times, but I honestly never have the energy anymore. My spicy sleep drive went from 80 to 5. I've explained to him multiple times that it's not that I find him unattractive or anything. I make sure to tell him every day that I think he's cute or handsome, to hold him, cuddle him, kiss him. It's literally a problem with my hormone levels. My doctor even mentioned this was very normal after birth. Add life's many obstacles, and spicy sleep is the last thing I'm thinking about. When I do get in the mood, I let him know straight up. I'll tell him, I want you tonight, and we'll do all the flirty, smexy things to get the point across, just for one of us to fall asleep before we get there, or for our daughter to wake up looking for us. Dang, this sounds like you guys need help.
Yeah, it just seems like it's a lot for 2 people, and you're financially not stable, and there's not a lot that you can do. I don't know if, like, you could reach out to family and be like, hey, we're in a really crappy situation, is there any way you can help us out, or even like a GoFundMe or something. Like, I feel like it all kind of narrows down to like the financial thing, because if you had money, you would be able to, afford like childcare or whatever. I don't know what you're doing with the baby when you're, out working and whatnot. But I mean, if you're paying someone to do that, and then, also having to pay for like the, the dogs, and then having to now like provide more food for like, because you have a child now, and then also, all the things, it just seems like too much. Like, me personally, I wouldn't be happy in the situation that you're in.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in the situation is happy, except maybe the daughter. But that's just because she's 2. So when she's happy, and when she's unhappy, oh, I'm sure it's terrible.
She's goo goo gagging.
Yeah, you need a little support here. The past week, he's been very forward about wanting to have the spicy sleep. And I've been on the same page, but once again, life got in the way. First night, I had an extra stressful shift that made me just want to be held. The next night, I was down, but he was in a bad mood. The third day, we were both into it, but I wasn't feeling well and started throwing up before we could do anything.
What?
No! Terrible. Today, I had another long, stressful shift and straight up told him I wanted us time. My exact words were, I want to spend some quality time together tonight. I miss you. I was expecting that once our daughter was down, we'd cuddle up on the couch, watch a movie, talk, make out, then move into the spicy sleep. I spent over an hour trying to get our daughter to bed, and the moment I came out, he immediately started pulling up my shirt and bedongling me. I laughed and said, hold on, babe, not yet. I was hoping we would, naturally get into it, and he flipped. He said he was frustrated with me for rejecting him all the time and that he's tired too and wants intimacy with me. I told him that I understood and we wanted that too, but that just jumping me before I could relax and get comfortable wasn't the way to get me in the mood. Yeah, come on, buddy. What are we talking about? Then he said I gave him mixed signals, like I always do, and that I'm always finding an excuse not to sleep with him, which isn't true at all. I reiterated that we are both always tired and that we both fall asleep or have no energy by the time we try. He said it's always me who says no. I explained everything about my hormones being off and how my body has been in constant fight or flight mode regarding our family's financial stability, so spicy sleep isn't as on the forefront of my mind as it used to be. He said I was over-exaggerating and gaslighting him, and if I really was still attracted to him, I'd talk to my doctor about my hormonal changes and demand a solution for it. Then he said I was being an a-hole for implying I wanted to get intimate just to reject him, but I wasn't trying to do that at all. I just wanted to get worked into the mood, not thrown into it immediately after fighting our kid to sleep. He stormed out and has been sitting in his car for the last hour now. He says he's sleeping there for the night because he's so mad. Now I'm wondering if I'm in the wrong here. No, I don't think so. But we have comments. Malice A. Forethought says, info, he picks me up from work 2 or so days depending on what's going on and how he's feeling, which shortens the way home to about 20 minutes. Am I reading this right? He could shorten your commute home from 2 hours, yes, I'm yelling, to only 20 minutes, but it depends on how he's feeling? I was wondering about this as well. OP says, yeah, it mostly comes down to things like gas money versus what's in the tank, or if our daughter is in the I'm going to screech at the top of my lungs nonstop if you make me sit in a car seat right now mode. But sometimes he's tired from taking care of her, his own work stuff, and dealing with the family drama going on. Or sometimes his friends surprise him and come over to watch baseball or football with him. I'm the one who volunteers to take the bus and train, mostly because he told me once that he was starting to hate driving because of how much he was doing it for his own work on top of picking me up. So we have a set schedule where he picks me up twice a week and drives me there once. If we have extra money for the month, he'll call me an Uber. I really don't like this.
Yeah, I don't
like that at all. That's kind of, I'm starting to hate driving. Get over it. What do you?
You're a family man now. Like,
Yeah.
take care of your family. Like I mean, the guy that I'm seeing, he's epileptic, so he can't drive. And like, I have no problem driving. I never make it an issue. I'm
Yeah.
never like, oh, I wish you could drive. Like,
When you're talking
that
about,
would be so crappy to do.
they're talking about like energy and stuff, and it's actually kind of, I think, very exhausting to take public transportation for 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, you're not driving, but that's exhausting.
But it's just all of the like, go, stop, go, stop,
Go, stop, go, stop.
And it's like, if it could just go
And the
until.
seething mass of humanity that's all around you.
Yeah.
So a second car is out of the question because I used to have a car, and a wasted driver totaled it after hitting me on the freeway at 118 miles an hour, leaving me hospitalized for a while. An injury caused by the said driver makes it incredibly uncomfortable for me to drive. I feel safer for myself and others by taking public transit. Just before the accident, we sold his car since we never used it. Our apartment charges $250 per car, and it was too small to fit the car seat in, and we needed the money. We had to use all of our savings to buy another car off Facebook Market and cover the rent while I recovered in the hospital, so it's financially impossible for us right now. Because trust me, I'd love to drive myself and my family anywhere we want, But it's not only not financially feasible, but until I've gotten fully better and more confident in driving again, it's also probably safer for others on the road around me. I don't want to have an episode and end up blacking out and waking up to find out I caused an accident. For reference, my work is 28.6 miles away from home across a bridge. I live in a small town where only one bus route goes in and out of it once per hour. That bus would take me to the transit station in the next town over, where I would either transfer to another bus for another hour and 37-minute ride, or hop on a train for an hour ride, stop at another station, wait 13 minutes for the same bus that takes an hour and a half, then walk 17 minutes from the final stop. Oh, that sounds abysmal.
That like actually made me hate my life a little bit.
That sounds actually like the worst thing ever. I was at least assuming you lived in a city. You
Right?
live in like a small town with one bus. That's absurd. That
Crazy.
your husband needs to step up and start giving you a ride.
Yeah,
I don't care
for
if he doesn't
sure.
want to drive. In order to get to work by 9:30 in the morning, I leave my house at 6, walk 10 minutes to the bus stop, take the 14-minute bus out of town into the next, wait for the transfer bus or the train, then get to work and make the 17-minute walk to arrive at 9. If I took any other bus or train, I would be between 30 to 60 minutes late, so I have to take that route. And unlike a car, the bus and train take a particular route that usually stops at every stop. The bus doesn't stop at every single stop. The ride cuts down to about an hour and 15 minutes. There are no other transfer points that align with the time I need to leave and the time I need to arrive. So yeah, with the car, it's about 20 minutes, 25 with traffic. With public transit, it's about 2 hours. And since it's across a bridge and around a lake, just walking isn't an option. Wow. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Wow. Top Watercress 8685 says, go to your doctor and demand he fix your hormone levels, not because you're depressed or anxious, but because he isn't getting enough. Man, what a walking joke at this point. Why isn't he looking for a better job to provide for his family and take the stress off of you? If his job only has so many hours, get another job. Then on your days off, he gets to go out, but what about you? Which we've already determined he doesn't go out, he stays with his family. You pay the majority of the bills and you take on the majority of the stress. What is he doing? Opie says, to be fair, he's starting a new job with full guaranteed hours in about 2 weeks, and he takes care of our daughter while I'm away. As for my days off, I tell him to go out, but he never does. He always wants to stay home, and he always tells me to go out. Either way, we usually just invite both of our friends to our place to hang out. And you are not the a-hole, and there is an update. Let's get into it. He immediately sat down on the couch where I was sitting, but didn't speak to me. He just sat there with his arms crossed, but he clearly wanted to say something. So I straight up asked him what his deal was, and he said that he was starting to feel insecure. He said he completely understood where I was coming from regarding my hormonal changes and my stress levels and my workload, and he appreciates the sacrifices I make to keep us above water. He just felt like he wasn't enough, not making enough, not helping enough, not enough. He said he was starting to feel like he wasn't wanted or needed because it seemed to him like I could have easily taken care of our daughter on my own without him, which is insane for him to say. Nothing about this read like that to me. Read like you are both at the very brink of ruin, unfortunately, which I feel for you. It's a hard place to be at. Then, when he yelled at me, which he admitted was not how he meant to react, he got even more upset, not at me, but at himself for getting that upset over it in the first place. Kudos to the commenter who suggested that could have been a thing. He said he felt crappy and embarrassed for reacting like that and didn't want to be around me because it was making him more upset at himself. So he sat in the car, yelled at himself, and started reminding himself that he wasn't an effing child and that he had to be there for our family any way he could, regardless of his emotions. He said he was just overwhelmed and overstimulated with all the Bluey, Miss Rachel, Super Simple Song, Sticky Finger, Terrible, Two Screeches, and needed me. He also said that part of it was our physical intimacy, not just our spicy intimacy. He felt like we just didn't touch each other enough, even platonically, which reaffirmed to him that I didn't want or need him. I pointed out that I hold, touch, and kiss him all the time, and he probably doesn't notice because he's always glued to either his phone or the TV as soon as I get home. He then tried to say he wasn't on his phone that much, just that he wanted to watch a video or two to decompress now that I'm home so he could refresh from the kids' stuff. But he finally admitted it when I showed him multiple videos and pictures I've taken while doing things with our daughter, playing at the park, watching something on the couch, eating at a restaurant, selfies of me and her, etc., along with Instagram posts from friends and family that have him in the background with his nose buried in his phone and earbuds in his ears. Well, I'm glad we got him to notice that.
There you go.
That might be a problem with your intimacy.
Yeah. I mean, him just being distracted and then also going to blame it on you.
Yeah, being completely being completely absent, and then trying to be like, no, I don't do that much, just a video or two. You literally have other people's Instagram posts to pull up.
There's so much evidence.
Yeah. Then that became a conversation about his concerns regarding how stressful my job is, specifically my bosses and the owners, and how it makes me come home upset and standoffish without realizing it. I totally admitted to that, and I won't deny that dealing with wasted customers and wasted owners all day makes me drier than a desert. Not to mention the 2-hour commute. So, we came up with a plan to decrease phone and screen time for both of us, set up a babysitting schedule with friends and family so we can have time alone, and I would look into finding a different, closer job with bosses who aren't giving away free booze and then making the staff pay for it. And by the way, I want you to report to the full episodes of stories like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. Just search OK Storytime. You can listen to an unbelievable number of episodes with stories just like this. We have a little bit more of this story left. I'm liking where we're headed, I guess, you know?
I feel like there's a game plan set. I want to see if that works out.
We're headed toward Compromise City.
Yeah.
OP says, he also said he'd pick me up more nights so it'll cut my commute and use that time to take our daughter to the park across the street. Yeah. He starts his new job next week as well, which should even us out enough for me to go back to working normal hours again so we can spend more time together as a family. We also plan on doing more things outside of the house together so neither of us are on our phones, giving our baby and each other our full attention. And we're using our pent-up energy more productively. He's also promised that next time he's this pent up, he'll talk to me about it calmly. So yeah, that's that. Thanks again to almost everyone who commented. You are appreciated. And that is the end of that story.
My wife wants to replace our deceased dog, but she can't even take care of herself.
Yeah, you might want to start with that first. There's going to be a trigger warning for this video for an acute depressive episode. Just putting that out there. If you can't hear a description of that, I would not listen to this.
Me, 36 male, and my wife, together 14 years, married for 12. My wife, 36 female, has always struggled with depression. In 2011, she witnessed her mother's passing. She was diagnosed with PTSD and was in therapy for about a year afterwards, which she said she found very helpful. Last summer, she went to see the same therapist wanting help with the depression, but did not find it helpful that time. She told me the doctor seemed boring and dismissive of her rich people problems. Ooh.
Oh.
She stopped going after that about 6 weeks. By the way, this comes from user WifeDogTA, and if you want to submit your stories, go to the OK Storytime subreddit. I am Savannah.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give you some good advice goofily, but that doesn't mean we have all the answers. We're just going to give our opinion on what we do, but we'd love to know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, in August of 2016, we adopted an older dog from a shelter, Rex. Because I work long hours and have a long commute and my wife works a flexible schedule at home, Rex was primarily her responsibility. She told me at the time that she felt like the dog had cured her mental health issues, and it did seem like that from the outside. While we had him, she had no depressive episodes and was generally happier and less sensitive. The most obvious thing was that she slept better, as both the depression and the PTSD had messed up her sleep. At the beginning of September this year, Rex passed away.
No.
My wife has totally fallen apart in a way similar to a depressive episode for about a month now. Not sleeping, not eating / binge eating, doesn't want to get up or shower or get dressed, disinterested in everything, not doing any cooking, shopping, housework. I haven't said anything about that last part, but we usually split the chores in a very specific way. Certain ones are hers and certain ones are mine, and I've been struggling to do them all when I come home, so the house is a bit of a wreck. Her main client, who provides the majority of her work and income, actually fired her because apparently she was making lots of promises and not delivering on any of the work. She told me this kind of offhandedly and didn't seem to care. She only talks about 2 things, Rex and getting a new dog. She believes that if we got a new dog, she would be fine again. I want that to be true, obviously, and I'd happily get a new dog if that's the case, but part of me feels like she needs to process her grief and get her work life and her mental health under control first. I'm afraid of leaving her alone with a new pet that needs to be cared for and eased into its new home when she can barely get out of bed and feed herself. My schedule doesn't really allow for me to take care of a dog properly if she's not able to do it right away. I haven't really told her how I feel yet, even though she talks a lot about wanting a new dog. She hasn't pushed for us to actually get in that car and go to the shelter yet. I think in part because getting dressed and going outside feels like an ordeal that she avoids in general. So it's not like we're fighting about it or anything, but I can't tell if I'm prolonging her suffering by not getting her a dog, if it will indeed fix everything, or if getting a new dog is as bad as an idea as it feels to me right now. I'd really appreciate some outside input. There is an edit here. Just to clarify a few things, I definitely want to get us a new dog sooner than later, and I do believe it will help my wife just like Rex did. However, as a user guest, when we got Rex in 2016, my wife had her issues fairly under control. She had a bad day here and there, trouble sleeping and organizing her time, and chose to go see her old therapist, but was totally functional and overall enjoyed life. Notably, her bad days never affected her work. She knew how to prioritize and let other stuff slide first / ask for my help. And when necessary, she was able to explain to her clients some version of what was happening and why she needed more time, and always got the work done in a reasonable time frame. Which is to say, Rex was a huge help, but starting from a place where I had no concerns about her ability to take care of a dog. In 14 years, I have only seen her have one other episode this bad that lasted this long. I was honestly really alarmed by what happened with her biggest client. I think they would have been understanding if she told them what was happening or referred them to someone else, but she instead kept promising she'd get it done, and then she'd stop answering their emails until they fired her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the solution here is maybe not like because that user is right. It's like now is not the time to get the
Yeah.
next dog. I think that can happen down the line, but it's like she needs like acute mental health, like
Yeah.
therapy assistance, like of some kind.
Like, I know there's like emotional support animals. Like, obviously, there are like animals in training specifically for those things, but unfortunately, animals aren't forever. So you do have to do your part as
Right.
well as just like, you can't put everything on this. And then once that's gone, then it's like, I'm lost. Then you're in a worse position.
It's
in
just
my opinion.
it would be a gamble to get like a new puppy or a new dog right now that she would be taken care of, and yeah. I don't know. It's just it's a mental health specialist,
Yeah, I agree.
new therapist.
Yes. It's not that I don't want her to have a dog. I'm just concerned about getting one right at this moment when she doesn't seem able to care for one. And I'm definitely not able to do it for a long time while she gradually works up to it. Both because of my work schedule and because I'm pretty burned out and exhausted from taking care of her and the house, and now becoming essentially our sole source of income. We live in a condo in the city with no yard, and my wife loves large breed dogs. Rex was huge. Which means it's not as simple as letting the dog outside, and it's hard to do it in baby steps. My wife would have to regularly take the dog some distance away to find green space and go on long walks / jogs as she did with Rex. And I'm worried about what a big change that will be. All that said, I've read and appreciate all of your comments, and I messaged my wife to suggest we go to the shelter on Friday evening and see if there's a dog that's right for us. I can take Monday and Tuesday off of work, so at least we'll all be together for 4 days / nights, which is hopefully enough time to see if it's something my wife can handle right now or not. The shelter lets you bring a dog back if it's not a good fit, and they convert your adoption fee to a donation. And if the dog turns out to be as stabilizing as most of you suggest, then I can talk to my wife some more about therapy or other long-term solutions when she's in a place to hear that. Thank you again for your input. I feel like that's good.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this.
He's being very, like, patient and caring about it. He wants to see his wife in a good headspace, but he also knows that she, like, this is going to help her, but you also do need to do the work yourself.
Yeah, you got to be patient and caring, because very seldom will just like the iron fist of like, you need therapy, you can't have a dog. Like, that's not gonna help her.
Yeah, that's gonna make her go back into her shell.
You gotta be gentle.
You gotta finesse.
You gotta be a little gentle with it.
So we have some comments. Comment number 1. Emotional support animals are increasingly being recognized as a valuable treatment for people with mental health issues. They work. It's a real thing. Your wife obviously needs other help as well, but she has clearly found an animal helpful and didn't have problems meeting your previous pet's needs. I don't really see why another dog wouldn't help. I do want to emphasize that just getting a dog isn't a catch-all fix to everything, though. She also needs to find a psychologist she can work with on an ongoing basis. There are lots out there, and not everyone is a good fit. It can take a few tries. And seeking at least a consult with a psychiatrist would probably be helpful, too. I agree. I think that that's perfect.
Agreed.
Comment number 2. Are you feeling a bit resentful that your wife can get herself together for an animal but not for you? Oh.
Did not read that at all.
Yeah, no, that wasn't what I thought was in the cards. That would be a very valid way to feel. When she's functioning better, you can tell her that you need her support as well as being there to support her. But it's because animals don't know what's going on and can't look after themselves, but still respond positively to people. And that makes them so valuable for mental health care.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. Don't think that he's at all jealous of an
Yeah.
animal. No.
I don't think that at all.
Don't think that at all.
There's an update. Oh, this is not a happy update.
No.
Oh, no.
Okay, everyone get ready.
This is not a happy update. As everyone advised, we adopted a new dog that weekend, an 18-month-old yellow lab, Spot. When we met her in the shelter yard, she was sweet and playful with us and the shelter volunteers. I made sure to be very upfront with the adoption counselor with all of our limitations. We live in a condo without a yard. All our neighbors have dogs, / our neighborhood is filled with dogs. Our only experience is with Rex, an easygoing older dog. We have lots of little kids in our extended family who like to visit. They assured us we'd do fine with Spot. She did great in her behavioral assessments at the shelter. She lived with dogs, cats, and small children previously, and the previous owner said she loved the dog park. Well, it's been just under a month, and Spot is a nightmare, and not at all how she was described. My wife has definitely come out of her depressive episode, but she is drowning trying to work on all of Spot's myriad behavioral problems. I took off more time from work to take Spot to a professional trainer, and after 3 sessions, the trainer said he baffled. By the way,
even the professional trainers, like, I don't know what to do about this dog. It's like it doesn't even know how to speak dog.
yeah, that's
crazy.
that the trainer was like, I'm baffled by this. Speaking of being baffled, we have a baffling amount of episodes that you can listen to. Full stories just like this if you go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite place where you have listened to podcast things. Just search OK Storytime.
Yeah.
There is another relevant update, but let's discuss the trainer.
Yeah, sometimes owning a dog is hard.
Yeah. And sometimes you think that it's going to work out, and then they are a nightmare, and it's really hard to train, and every dog is different. Like, just because, there are specific breeds that, people are like, oh, this breed is smart, this breed is dumb, this breed is this breed's that. They also have very many different personalities. They are people.
Yes. They are little personalities in a dog body.
Yeah. So we do have a little bit more of this. So, a different trainer from a different organization is coming to our house this weekend. But to me, Spot seems straight up dangerous. And she, has to go back. It's a no unalive shelter. So this isn't an unethical choice. Though obviously we've made Spot worse from whatever we've been doing / not doing. And it will traumatize her to be abandoned a second time. I agree. That's all our fault. And we're the worst. You don't need to tell me.
Hey.
I mean, I wasn't going to say that, but sure.
I don't think you're the worst. I think that it didn't work out with the dog.
Yeah.
Couldn't have anticipated that. You wanted it to work out. It's been months.
Yeah.
It's not like it was a week.
Yeah. You put in the hard time and work, and it just didn't work out, and that's unfortunate. My wife agrees that Spot needs to go back, but she is also beating herself up about it, saying clearly she is unfit to have dogs at all.
No.
Ever. She's the worst dog owner ever, and after we take Spot back, she never wants another.
No! No!
Yeah, dang it. So it did backfire. I'm sorry. This could have went so many ways, and I'm sad that it went in the not good way.
Yeah, come on. It's not. You just try to tell her it's not about you being a bad owner. It's about Spot just being a peculiar little creature.
I asked her then what she intends to do about her depression, and she repeated that Rex was the only thing that ever helped, but that she'd make the effort in other ways, therapy, exercise, etc. Advice, please? And there are some comments. Comment number 1. P.S. I'll add that I volunteer at a shelter, and it's not uncommon for pets to come back. The shelter would rather that happen than have everyone involved, including the pet, be unhappy in the wrong situation. So seriously, don't feel too guilty. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah. A reply, my local shelter even has a policy where within 2 weeks you can bring a dog back and adopt another without paying the fee again for this exact reason. They want people to adopt the right dog. Comment 2, this sucks.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
You're right, comment 2. And I'm flabbergasted that the shelter seemed to think a young yellow lab would be happy in a condo with no yard. Those dogs are big, very active, and 18 months is around the time they typically test their owner's dominance. That's true.
Dang. So yeah, you got bad advice from the shelter.
Yeah. There is a reply. Yeah, this is on the shelter, frankly. OP and wife need to adopt an older dog. I agree. Actually older, like at least 5 or 6 years. Another reply, people really do need to consider the breed and not just the size. There are high and low energy dogs at both ends of the size range. People can't just pick one that scales to the amount of physical space they have. And that's literally the end.
And
what?
that is the end of that.
Oh, well, I hope that you brought Spot back, and maybe I agree with the last reply. I think an older dog might be better suited for you guys
Yeah.
if you actually needed and wanted a dog. I think the older the dog, the better,
Yeah.
because then they're on like your kind of wavelength too, and they don't require much.
And just, be gentle with your wife. Hey, look, show her these comments being like, I work in a shelter. It's not a weird thing to have to take a dog back. You're not terrible people. I think it is concerning how linked up your wife's mental health is with like a dog being present in the home or being able to take care of a dog or owning a dog. I think that needs to be addressed in a more realistic or a more just a healthier, direct way where it's like, let's get to the root of the issue and like start to address it in a way that's not dependent on something outside of us and start from within ourselves.